All right, guys. Tyler Bishop and Sean Williams back here, back at you. And we have Gordon Ryan versus Felipe Pena. It's an hour-long match, Sean.
Yeah. 1 hour. But
who knows how this thing's going to go.
You know, I thought about this match a lot. I thought the strengths for Felipe are the fact that he's able to create these chaotic scrambles, usually that end up in sweeps or 50-50 in IBJJF world. And he's also extremely experienced with he's one of the best in the world in our sport. So, but I thought this is an interesting battle because some of what his best stuff leads him into are sort of leg spaghetti, entangled legs, 50-50 style, which could be a problem in this match.
Yeah, it's kind of an unstoppable force meets a movable object type scenario here.
Yeah. Felipe obviously can create his own pressure on footlocks, if we're talking about footlocks. I mean, he's broke Luis Ponza's leg quite heinously in a 50-50 footlock. So he's got the finishing ability.
And Ponza is a man's man.
Oh, man, that guy's a beast. So I thought this will be a very interesting style matchup, to say the least.
We've seen a lot of Pena, and Ryan, obviously, having made his mark at many of the Eddie Bravo Invitational events, we still haven't seen him matched up against a lot of kind of the bigger names you've seen in our sport. Obviously, with he had a nearly 2-hour match with Keenan Cornelius a while back, which he was the victor of submission only. And so I think it'll be interesting to see him matched up against someone like this because we really haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Or I guess I should say we haven't seen it very much.
Yeah, now right into inside Senkaku, cross heel hook. He's in on this. Felipe doing the right thing, trying to get that knee out now. But
and the walls are in play here, guys. So they roll into the walls. They're going to keep going. The referee's not going to stop them.
Yep. So Gordon looking to get on top. And this is where Felipe, I think, excels, is from the bottom, getting underneath, getting his leg positions from up underneath here.
I'm in the next position here. They resituate back in the middle here.
And if you're just joining in, we'll remind you that there's pretty much no stopping in this. The walls are in play. So you see Gordon moving into the middle. Submission only for an hour, and then EBI style overtime rules.
An hour is a very long time to fight.
Such a long time. Gordon again looking to get underneath the legs.
As we've seen here earlier, some of these matches, we had a match 30-minute match between Nicky Ryan and Kennedy Mayseal, and even though that one did go into overtime, it was exciting, packed full action the whole time. And then we saw a match between Tara and Tonin. In the previous match, even after a couple minutes, you could tell that the action really picked up, and it was able to end the submission. So you never know when it's coming in a match like this.
Felipe going after arm guillotine here.
He doesn't have the neck very deep there, but he may be looking to switch to maybe. He's going to come up into north-south. Yeah,
but he's able to get a pass out of this whole situation and transition and find himself north-south. Gordon's elbows, forearm into the hip.
Pena may be looking to switch to some type of guillotine or Dars if Ryan is to come up belly down on that.
Yeah.
Ryan doing a good job framing with his forearms there from the north-south, and now he's back into half guard.
Yep. Goes into half butterfly guard. So he doing a good job of what he's doing. Is just trying to keep Gordon's head away so he can't really get underneath.
He keeps his knees nice and pinched together as well, which gives him opportunities to do leg drags and also protects his legs against Ryan coming up underneath him there as well.
Felipe with that left foot stapled in a good position.
There's one thing that we've seen from Ryan in the past, and kind of we saw it from his brother earlier today. It's just this very calm form of patience. You're not going to see him get rattled. You're not going to see him put himself in a really risky, vicarious position. He's very diligent in his game. Again, we're here at Studio 540 here in San Diego, California. I'm Tyler Bishop. Standing next to me is Sean Williams. Eddie Bravo, our referee. It's the third and final match of the evening.
He's getting underneath here again. Gordon's got that inside hook, half butterfly guard, but Felipe is wise to keep that right hip back. Can also, got to be careful about dipping the left hip in too deep, though. And we are literally mat side over here. So
yeah, we're one of probably, I would say, about 30 or 40 people that are inside this building right now. So it makes it a very unique environment. So if you hear us kind of whispering a little bit, it's because it's a quiet environment because there's just not a lot of people here other than some coaches and media. And it's really the only people that are here.
Again, and what you're seeing Gordon do is as he's turning, he's going to look to, if Felipe brings this left knee in deeper, he's going to look to bring his own left leg underneath and scissor the legs into a leg lace style. There's
Ryan, he's got that arm, and he's got a nice grip around that arm now. He can use that for straight arm bar. More likely, he's going to use it to sweep.
Yep. With a Gatami style position. Countered, but then nice transition for Gordon to slide underneath here into Ashigurami, and Felipe just steps right out.
Pena is such an athletic guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be really hard to pin down in any one position for a period of time because he can really explode out of spots, and that's really what he's known for.
Yeah.
He has big wins over pretty much just about everybody that has a big name in gi jiu-jitsu. ADCC veteran. There's a great video on the internet of him just blowing through guys at the ADCC trials in Brazil, which Brazil known to have a couple good jiu-jitsu guys there.
A few. Yeah, no, he's an outstanding athlete.
So we're about 10 minutes into our 1 hour match here.
Yeah. Yeah. Long time here to work, so.
Sometimes matches like this evolve, so you can see where the battle lines are right now. It's kind of this Gordon Ryan's butterfly guard versus Felipe Pena trying to pass. And, we'll see. If one of the guys figures the other one out, we may see, the battle lines move to someplace else, or it may become a stalemate, and they may decide to kind of lock horns on another playing field.
Yeah, you see the nice push-pull there by Gordon from the bottom. Felipe trying to get into the middle of that leg. He's wisely stapled that, taken that inside position with his left leg, Felipe.
Ryan scooting after Pena here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Pena jump on something from with Ryan in a seated position. Something that he does well, lends himself well to his attributes. See here, he's trying to finish the pass here to get to north-south. He was able to do this a little bit earlier in the match. Ryan doing a great job of keeping his knees in.
Yep. And he'll be able to turn back and recover. To be honest, this is a pretty good pace for an hour.
We'll see how it wears on the competitors over time.
Even though there hasn't been a lot of exchanges, there have been some exchanges, but there's no shortage of stuff going on in here.
That's not to mention the fact that if this match goes the full hour, and you can imagine how tired you'd be after that hour, that's really whenever you're actually going to have to pick up and probably fight the hardest, because you're about to have somebody on your back or on your arm. For you guys who don't know, it's an hour-long match. At the end, Eddie Bravo Invitational overtime rules, 3 rounds of each competitor having a chance to attack the other opponent's either arm or back. If at the end of the period there's no submission, they move on to the next one. If one gets a submission, they are the winner. If both get the submission, it will be the one that got it the fastest.
Hand fighting wisely, Felipe here is, because it doesn't look like much, but Gordon can off balance back that way, so that hand fighting was critical there for Felipe.
All right, once again on that straight arm, can use it to transfer to a lot of different types of positions.
Yep.
Even the back.
Foot on the hip will extend. It's a good position to extend the leg. There it is.
A very nice sweep.
Yep. Very nice Udagatami sweep there.
You don't see Felipe Pena get swept like that very much.
Let me tell you, if you've ever been stuck there with John, which I have, you understand why he just went over. It's a heinous position, and his pupils are all very good at it as well. So, Udagatami style sweep. But again, I'm sure
Ryan almost able to free himself, looking to transfer potentially to the mount here.
Oh, they're looking for triangle now, Gordon, but Felipe is good here. Escapes nicely.
And that's what Pena does. He gets out of those spots.
Yeah, so good at being comfortable in uncomfortable positions.
This has kind of been the neutral position they return to, and we see kind of like maybe a rolling Kimura attempt there from Pena.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon's got his leg.
Yeah, he's got a straight footlock, but didn't quite get the knee position that he wanted, and fully took advantage of that and slid out.
Almost 14 minutes in here.
I don't know if Felipe just let out a little sigh. I don't know if that means...
I noticed that as well.
I don't know if that means, holy moly, this has only been 15 minutes in, or...
Going into this match, I was asked to break it down, and one of the things that I mentioned, I said within the first 20 minutes, I would say that the advantage leans towards Pena, but after about that 20-minute mark, I would start to give the advantage to Ryan a little bit, and it's for this very reason, where if you look at both competitors, Pena looks like maybe the match is wearing on him possibly a little bit more than Ryan.
Yeah, I think that's a great assessment, and I think, again, it's what you don't really see, because clearly the less active of the two is Felipe, but what you don't see is the stress of the submission threat, and it's something that stresses you out. People ask me a lot, I'm sure you get asked the same question, who's the best guy that you ever rolled with? And you can't answer that with just that question. That question is deep. What do you mean the best guy? Are you talking about caveats? Yeah, you're talking about the best guy that could pass my guard over and over and over and score 1 million points? Are you talking about the best guy that I felt was the most dangerous and that could submit you no matter what, and it was coming and just took time? Like, those are two different people, and it wears on you. The dangerous guy will make you much, much more tired than the conventional score 1 million points guy.
Because you feel like you're always kind of, you're always on edge. You never completely rest because you always feel threatened.
Yeah, it's unsteady. You just feel completely on guard the whole entire time. So It's very stressful.
And that's a feeling I think just about anybody that does jiu-jitsu can understand, especially when you start out it doesn't matter how good a shape you are, and if you're a white belt, you're getting tired most of the time when you're training because you don't know when it's okay to relax and when it's not. And that's what it's like fighting somebody that is always giving you the threat of submission. It's very exhausting because you're always having to be on your guard.
Yep.
Gary Tonin telling Ryan from the side that he can stand up and encouraging him to maybe stand to set up some of the leg positions that we've seen already. Pena bringing that knee strong through there.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan lacing that leg through, looking to spin underneath here. He's just about there.
Yeah, but Felipe's right leg right now is in decent position, stapled.
Transfers to a leg drag. May look to drop that hook underneath and take the back.
Yeah, this is what Felipe is good, really good, where he's good.
He gets his hips down, he passes the guard. Beautiful guard pass. It's not an easy thing to do, especially a guy that long, that talented. 17 minutes into a match. Sean, do you think that there's a psychological element to whenever, we've all been in those long rolls in the academy, or maybe in a competition you look up and you see the time left and you're disappointed to see that there's a lot more left. Is there a psychological factor looking up and see there's 43 minutes left in a match?
It could be, but that's like you're in the gym, you're used to looking up and seeing 2-3 minutes. Oh, man,
Absolutely.
Another 2 minutes, I was ready to rest. You look up and see 43.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, I think we've seen a pretty good pace here, so I would imagine both guys will start to slow down a little bit at this point.
What's interesting when you think about these two guys and the experience that they have, while Pena probably has more experience against top-level competitors, Ryan probably has more experience actually in these types of matches than he does.
Yeah, I say that's safe to say.
Pena doing a good job of using his head to bring that arm up. Traditionally, it's probably not a good idea to leave your arm out there like the way that Ryan was, but you can tell he's certainly using it to try to potentially bait Pena into an attack in which would allow him to escape. An instructor once told me, once you know the rules, you can break the rules.
Yeah. Knees are coming in. Gordon's getting a little more space here. Felipe walks into the legs nicely to kill those legs off now. Gordon.
Ryan back in.
Yeah.
And again, diving through.
Yeah, trying to get this right hand. Just thinking about basically a Darce choke
rolling
there.
Underneath here. Pena with a great job of kind of like just working his legs through there.
Mm-hmm. And Pena's smart with his leg position. I think that he's with the gi tournaments. That's one of those places where he really takes advantage of a lot of our athletes. Gets good leg position and can come up on sweeps and.
Both guys nice and sweaty now. Certainly adds like another element to this match.
Yeah.
If it wasn't hard to submit to one of these guys before, it's certainly getting more difficult as they move forward. Sometimes as you get warmer, too, it becomes easier and easier to get out of positions because you can kind of find the dexterity in your body to kind of wiggle out of the position. Pena keeps putting his hands on the face of Ryan. I've heard Gary Tonin mention it a couple times. He is, I mean, there are no rules for this thing. There are some, kind of like unwritten rules that you have when you do jiu-jitsu or whatever. But, he keeps palming the face of Ryan, and he's not really putting fingers in the eye, but it is one of those things that kind of wears on you a little bit over time.
Yeah, for sure. Gordon now in on the leg here. He's got the inside Senkaku.
He's real deep in there.
But now, nice transition by Felipe.
He almost transitioned into like a triangle and then almost into an armbar. He just barely missed it.
Yeah, that was a beautiful series from both gentlemen.
Ryan had the leg really deep, and then Pena rolled and was able to transfer into. He was taking the back and immediately transitioned to that triangle armbar, and he just missed it by a hair. Pena bringing some pressure now. And this is what he's going to have to watch out for, because he's expending a lot of energy here.
Yeah.
He didn't get past. He missed the submission there. And you can see he stands up. He's taking a deep breath. Again, there's that kind of push to the face I was talking about a little bit earlier.
Felipe is really starting to bring a lot more pressure now. Thinking about his own footlock. Sliding in there, but
the way that Penn is passing the guard is actually, it's a nice way to save some energy in some respects, because if you slice through, it doesn't take a ton of energy to kind of throw your body through there, and then he can kind of evaluate on the other side of that. If he has a good position, he can transfer maybe to the other side or finish the pass, as opposed to really kind of like grinding on somebody to try to get the pass, which can actually take a lot of your energy in the process. Sounds crazy, Sean. We're 21 minutes in, and we're not even to the halfway point yet.
That's exactly what you were talking about there. Sliding through.
And another pass.
Yeah.
See Ryan Pena making it a point to put a lot of shoulder pressure on Ryan here.
Yep.
His game is a little bit brutal, and you can tell it's probably by design. He wants to intimidate the guy a little bit with the way that he attacks positions and the way that he's attacking submissions. Which, I mean, it gets in your head as a competitor. Whenever you're going with somebody that feels like they have the intention to hurt you, it sits in the back of your mind.
Yeah, it certainly can.
However, if there is somebody that is probably, I would consider largely unaffected by that, I would say it's someone like Ryan, who's just cool as a cucumber in just about every position we've seen him in so far.
Yeah, and then you just use unnecessary strength and energy to do that.
And you burn yourself out.
Yeah, because at these points, the excessive shoulder pressure may not help.
Yeah. I know a guy that's a very good half-guard player that says that when he feels his opponents get frustrated, they put a lot more shoulder pressure, and that's when he knows he's about to get the sweep, because they're generally a little bit stiffer and more aggressive.
Felipe right now cemented on Gordon cross side right now, but we're going to need more than this, just to hold and pin. Very good pin here with the left hand underneath the waist and the right arm cross-faced and in the armpit.
The spot is actually a pretty good place for Pena right now, because as we mentioned earlier, of the two guys, he looks like the one that was maybe wearing out a little bit more. It's a great opportunity for him to rest, since there's still a lot of time left to fight. We have seen both the competitors get into good positions and throw submissions of their own throughout the match. And so that's one of the things that makes this interesting, Sean, is you can't really turn away from the screen, because literally anything could happen at any time.
Yeah, and just what makes these matches go fast is the anticipation of, whoa, something could happen at any second. Now, Gordon back to guard, but Felipe still putting that pressure.
He's going to look to come around to the other side here.
Yeah. Very nice pressure by Felipe. Never really elevated his chest, and then when he did is when Ryan escaped there, Gordon.
It's good for Ryan that he was able to get back to the guard here, because a lot of times whenever you escape from the side control position and your opponent goes right back on the attack, if they pass again, there's a demoralizing and kind of exhausting element to it where you've worked so hard to get out, and then immediately to have your guard pass again, it wears on your stamina a little bit.
Felipe asking Gordon to stay with his hands behind his head.
Pena's joking around a little bit.
Yeah. Tries to really throw the legs by.
Ryan looking to cross up that leg, the right leg of Pena.
Yeah, Gordon's still really looking to get underneath, Felipe's legs.
Ryan looks about the same as he did at the beginning of the match. He doesn't look to have spent a lot of energy. He looks very calm. His facial expressions don't really change very much throughout the course of the match. This is really a format that he excels in. And so even though we've seen Pena be the aggressor here so far, when there's no points and the threat of overtime, and right as I say that, Ryan's deep on the leg here.
Again, the inside Sankaku. Felipe slides out nicely. Slides out well.
I don't know how much Portuguese you speak, Sean.
Yeah, he said, yeah. Did you understand that?
I did not.
Yeah. He just said he's not going to catch you. I told you this. He's not going to catch you.
Well, there's one thing that's sure is you saw how quickly Ryan hopped on that heel hook.
Yeah.
And how quickly Pena got his leg out of there. I mean, I thought his timing was perfect, and Pena's leg was completely out of there by the time he was switching to it.
Yeah. Wise move from Felipe just to get out of there.
We're approaching the halfway mark in this match. If you're just now joining us, I'm Tyler Bishop. Sitting next to me is Sean Williams. We have Felipe Pena versus Gordon Ryan. It's the third of 3 super fights here at Studio 540 in San Diego, California. And we are halfway through this 1 hour long match. And if it goes a full time and there's not a submission, they will go to the EBI overtime rules, where it's basically a sub-off for 3 rounds. Again, Pena diving with that leg through. It's paid off a couple times for him. He's been able to get past the guard. And those have been great opportunities for him to rest a little bit in a match that's seen a lot of explosive movements.
Yep. But what he's doing is he's keeping the inside position well. So you see that left leg there. It's keeping the inside. And that's largely what's keeping him out of trouble when Gordon gets underneath theirs. The ability to keep the leg in the middle.
This is a common position we've seen throughout the match, where we've got Pena with a leg over position, pinning the butterfly guard of Ryan. Some hand fighting from the feet here. The reason why they do this is they're not just trying to play pinochle here. They both want to get inside the other one. Yep. And you really want your wrist to be on the bottom there if you're going to grab the hand, so you don't want to be the top wrist.
Yep. And that Felipe, again, lots of pressure to pass here.
It's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of energy. It pays off if he gets to rest at the end of it, but if he misses, right now his heart rate is up. He's got to deal with this now. For some guys, having your guard threatened that way can be pretty exhausting, but if you have a fair amount of flexibility in your legs and have a good guard, a lot of times it doesn't take a lot of your energy to defend those types of kind of explosive guard pass.
Yeah.
And so I would say it's probably taking more out of Pena on these attempts than it is Ryan.
Yeah, Gordon's just posting and using a little hip movement where Felipe is using a lot of large muscles to throw those legs by.
Pena again, almost through, but as we've seen many times, Ryan does a great job with his legs coming up underneath to get under.
Now, again, Felipe tries to throw by. Gordon again trying to get underneath there, but he's a long way away.
Yeah, he's further than he has been in the past. He have a hard time marrying his hips to that leg.
Yeah, Felipe has got the hand in the inside. Now he's
in a better spot now.
Got his legs back on the inside, I believe Felipe did. Yep. So well countered. Just past the halfway point.
We're finally there. You know, I've had those matches in a tournament before where one of my teammates is halfway through, and you think, Jesus, I thought the mat was almost done. I can only imagine what these guys feel like.
Yeah.
Interesting. Pena seems to be just as comfortable passing to his left and his right. He kind of mixes it up, and he's doing the same passes on both sides. Oftentimes, competitors will have kind of different sets of passes for each side. They'll be more comfortable with one versus the other. But Pena looking just as crafty on both sides. We've seen him pass to both sides throughout the match.
Butterfly guard for Gordon Ryan. Felipe, if you notice when he starts to go, blocks those traps. It's a good idea. There it is. Slides through again, but
some hand fighting, some aggressive hand fighting out of Strabides. Pena has actually done a really good job throughout this match of where he puts his feet whenever he's standing up in those seated positions. He never puts his foot in a position to where I can be threatened or Ryan can get underneath of him. And it's actually more complex than what people probably think.
Yeah, he's trying to step into the middle there. Because you don't want your legs on the outside if you're dealing with someone that's talented from butterfly guard, like Sashgramis, things like this.
I prefer neither of these guys to have my legs, to be honest with you.
Kidding.
Both of them are just leg destroyers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, we see this familiar position here where Pena has a leg over, trying to pin the guard of Ryan. He's got the right leg over the front of Pena's thigh. If he can, he would roll underneath, elevate, get underneath that leg.
Yeah.
You know, looking to maybe smash that knee together so that he can pass around to the other side. We've seen a lot of action so far, and we've seen both competitors kind of change up their attacks a little bit, and we've seen kind of the weaponry from both in terms of attacks that they may have had planned. At what point do you run out of things in your bag? You know,
we're seeing, it's just the same things, and I think that's really what high-level competitors, you probably see this same, both trying to execute their A game, so to speak, over and over and over and over, and being quite stubborn about it. And I think that we'll probably see more of that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see at some point Gordon stand up and look to switch strategies that way, maybe near the end of the hour if it's still going.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised we haven't seen that so far. There was calls earlier from Tonin for Ryan to do that, and I thought maybe we would see it a little bit earlier. Ryan now pushing on the face of Pena. Maybe a little revenge.
Yeah.
There we go. It's another roll by Pena. Almost to the back. Tried to come up to the mount.
Yep. Again, now Gordon needs to elevate. He's got underneath with the left leg, but still got a long way to go to bring Felipe forward.
He's going to be looking to cross that leg over the hip so he can get into that right leg of Pena.
Still a long way to get there, though, and Felipe wisely.
He decided to bail out of it. That was a smart decision.
Yep.
I was once told one of the worst things you could do when your leg is being threatened is to admire your opponent's work.
Yeah.
Ryan 2-on-1 that arm. Both competitors very, very slippery at this point.
Yeah.
24 minutes left to go. We've been fighting for 36 minutes. There's no doubt about it. Both these guys have spent a lot of energy so far in this match.
Gordon again trying to get underneath.
Okay, in the last couple of minutes, it looks like Ryan maybe has picked up a bit and is becoming a little bit more aggressive. I wouldn't be surprised if this is part of his strategy to pick up the aggression as the match wears on. Certainly when Pena is going to be a little bit more vulnerable. Again, hand fighting from the feet. If you're just tuning in, we're 37 minutes into an hour-long match between Gordon Ryan and Felipe Pena. If in 22 minutes there's still not a submission, they will go to the EBI-style overtime rules.
Yeah, been here quite a bit, as you've mentioned earlier, and that left foot just on the inside for Felipe is what's giving Gordon the trouble from rolling over the left shoulder. The hand fighting as well, but that left foot is on the inside, which keeps it relatively safe from rolling through. And
there's not a lot of hour-long matches in jiu-jitsu, so it's not an easy thing to prepare for. No. But Ryan seems to have made a name for himself in these types of matches, so he has really got more opportunities than anyone to do them. And so we're seeing maybe at this point where, you know, Pena maybe being the more veteran of competition, where Ryan actually probably is the beneficiary of his experience more so than Pena is.
Mm-hmm.
While early in the match we did see Pena get past the guard several times, it's been a while since he's been able to get past the guard of Ryan.
Again, that right foot, Felipe is stapled down on Gordon's right leg.
Again, you see,
left leg.
See a lot of hand fighting from this position because ultimately, if Ryan is able to get up underneath Pena, he's going to get right into the position he's wanted this entire match. But Pena knows this, and he's done a great job of defending it pretty much the entire match.
Yeah.
Pena just dripping sweat now on top of Ryan. It gives you an idea of just how grueling a match like this is. As you mentioned earlier, having somebody that's consistently threatening throughout a match really, it can be exhausting. Here, as you mentioned earlier, we may start to see Ryan try to stand up to set up some of these different attacks here shortly.
Yeah. Again, Gordon trying to get underneath there. Again here, Udagatami position, but his
back
legs.
Back to that straight arm sweep that we saw him land earlier. Pena just a little too quick that time. 66% the way through, Sean.
Final 20. And see the leg position of Felipe there is just keeping him safe with that foot on the middle.
Ryan with the underhook here.
And
Pena presses him off.
yeah.
The words of John Donaher ring out across the mat towards Gordon Ryan, giving him some advice. They've been in enough of the similar positions now that you're hearing some of the coaching shift. They're telling people what to do next time they get into those positions because it's been such a repetitive thing throughout this match. Pena's going to look to stand up here, and he's going to look to jump that knee through again. There it goes.
Yep.
I mentioned before, we've been in a lot of these positions over and over again, but we're seeing different results every time. Ryan on top of a guillotine there. This is what I'm talking about. They're starting to figure each other out a little bit, and they're starting to set traps. They're getting each other's tendencies figured out. And just as we saw there, as Pena went through with that knee slide, Ryan came up quickly and attacked the guillotine. Here he's got the leg.
Another inside Sankoku position. He's got it, but Felipe right now is in good shape. He's got the knee flying safe again.
Pena looking transfer to the back.
Felipe very good from this position.
Now Pena almost has the back. He keeps resetting that foot. He does. And he's locked the body triangle. This is the most trouble we've seen Ryan have the whole match. Pena's got the arm across the face here. He's got the hand on the head.
That's tight. He's actually got through here tight.
He does have it very tight. He gets the tap. He gets the tap. And we see the Brazilian celebration over here.
Nuts.
40 minutes into the match, Felipe Pena has tapped out Gordon Ryan with a rear naked choke.